Hi everyone. In this video I'm gonna explain how to create simple HTML page like this. We are going to use HTML and CSS together. So let's start with that from now. So now I have this page or I have this project called personal or portfolio as you want, and here we have home.html and we have just image. This image here we will just add it like we have seen here. So first thing, the HTML, I will just create HTML page and then I will add head, and in the head I will add the title. In the title I will just say like personal page, something like that. So we add just HTML and \HTML. Here we just create the first tag and just close that HTML tag. Inside it we have the head, so now we can add the title in the tab. Now if we just run here, new terminal, and just say start home.html. now as you can see here we have personal page. Now if you need also to add a picture and image here image, simple. So we can just add here a link like this, tag link rel equal icon, and inside it href equal the icon. So for example I will add this image as icon, so img dot like this, simple like that. Now if we just refresh the page, you can see we have the simple icon here. That's finish here in the head. Now we come to the body. By the way, here we have this tag, and inside this tag, and before we close this tag here like this, everything here called attribute. So the rel is attribute, the href is attribute. So in the href, just here the rel just add the type, and href just add the path of the picture here, of the image here. Also I need to connect with the JavaScript, so here I can create another one called like style.css. so I need to connect with the CSS, sorry. So here also I will use this tag link rel equal style sheet now, and href same thing equal style.css like this. Here we don't need to close the tag, just called inline tag. So here inline or inline element. Now we need to start with the body. So as you can see here, we have first thing, we have navbar. So simple, the navbar, we can just add here the body, and inside body \body we can create everything. So the first thing, we can make it by div just, and here say navbar, and we can add a class here called, to work with CSS to change it, called nav, for example. And after that we have another div to add a picture, or we don't need div. For example I will add just image here, and src equal img.web, and alt we can say like my image. Alt here is just alternative. For example, if your internet connection is slow or you have a problem to display the picture, so we need just to add like alternative caption or alternative label or name for the picture here. After that, so now we have div navbar, after that we have image, and then we have the name here, so we can add another div for the name. So here div class equal name, or of course anything you want, and I can add my name here, Osama Muhammad Ahmed. What else? And here also we have a description, so I can add some bio or description about me. So I can just say here another div, and I can write something, for example like this. So I just write some information about me, and here the class equal like disk for description. So as you can see now in the HTML, we just create the structure of the page inside the body. So the first thing, we have div navbar. So here we have the navbar at the top at the beginning. After that we have image, so we just add image without any design. Add image. In the CSS we'll make a design. Then we have another div for the name, and finally we have the last div for the description here. So I think it's very simple. We just divide the page. Now we can start working with the CSS in the style. Before that we need just to see the picture, or just to see the website now. So now if we see that, so we have at the beginning the navbar, and then we have the picture. After that I have the name, and then I have the bio or just the description. Now in the CSS we will change all these things. So in the CSS we have what? We have nav, and also in the image I will add a class equal img, for example. So now we have nav and img, name and disk, right? So here first thing dot, because we have a class, so dot nav, and here dot img, after the dot name, finally dot disk, right? So, and before that also I can add for the body, so we don't need anything. This is the selector body, you don't need to add dot for the body tag here, I mean body element. So I can just add here margin equal 0 and padding equal 0 as well. So now there's no space inside the page in the body, so we need just to make it like this at the beginning. So for example the navbar will be at the top, and with the border there is no space between the navbar and the border, for example in the top and right and left and everything. So we have explained, for example, the padding and margin. Here the space between the border of this and Ahmed and Usama, here the name, this is called the margin, and the space inside between the text here, between this text and the border, called padding. So this is the difference between them. Now in the nav what we need to do, by default if we have div, so the div by default will take all the width, the screen, so all the width will take it by the div. So we don't need to say anything about that. We need just to add a background color, and I can just say black, simple like that. Now if we just check that here, perfect, black. Now we need to add change the color of the navbar, so the color of the text inside it, just add color and white, for example. So now if we just check it again, you can see perfect. Also I need to add some padding, or I need to change font size at the beginning, so I can make it like 20 pixel, and also font width, it's like a bold, make it bold, so I can make it bold, and add some, now just like this, just to need to check, yes, good. I can make it like 30, and also I need to add some padding. So now the text is inside the navbar, we need just to add some padding for that, from all the padding from all directions. So I can add just 10 pixel padding, and just, yeah, perfect. I think now it's very good. Now you can see the picture and the navbar is one beside the other, one below the other. We need to add some space between the picture and the navbar. So here we need just to use the margin, but margin from where? In the navbar we need to make a margin bottom, from bottom. So here I can just say margin bottom, and for example 20 pixel. So now as you can see here, perfect, that's what I need. Maybe I can just make it 30 pixel, and that's. Now we finish this. Now we need to work with the picture, or with the image here. With the image, what we need to do, first thing we need to add height of the image, so I can make it like 200, and we need to change the width, make it also 200, perfect. So now That's what I need. Now I need to make a picture like a circle. So here we can use border radio. Border rad. Yes. Here if you make it 50%, it will make like become like a circle. So very simple, just like this. Now it is a circle. Now I need to add border around it. So the border here, maybe I can make it 10 pixel, the thick of the border, and the color will be black, and the type will be solid, like this. So I think it will be perfect. Yes, like this. We can just make it. So the border, the thick of the border 10 pixels, so you can see it's a little bit thick here, and black the color and solid. So that's it. Now how to make the picture in the center, we will explain that later, but now I will just make it. I will not explain it because we will explain that later, a little bit advanced. So here we can use just display flex, for example, just add margin for auto. That's it. And we'll explain what the flex, what the margin auto, we'll explain that later, but in this way we can make it here. Now we need to work with the name. So first thing, the name will be in the center, so just text. For the text, very easy, just say text alignment and then center. Now the text will be in the center. Perfect. Now we need to add some margin from top. Margin top, I can add like 20 pixel, and some margin from bottom. Bottom, I can make it also 20 pixel, for example. So here, like this, perfect. Now we need to work with the font size, font color. So font size, I can make it like 30 pixel. I can make the font also width just like bold. Also I can add a color for the font and make it like tomato. It's like a red but a little bit different. So perfect, like this. This is what I need here. You can change also the text, so you can just say here font family, and here you need to get this from internet if you don't know, but here we, in the Visual Studio Code give you like some options. So for example, I will use this one here. Why we have more than one text? Because it depends on the browser. Yani for example, this the font type now, this one, the first one, but if the browser not support, or the browser doesn't support this type of font, so we will see this font here. If the browser also doesn't support this, we will just apply this one, and so on. So for that we have 4 or 5 options for the font family, because the browsers not support all types of fonts. So now we can see, yeah, now maybe like this. Finally, I need just to work with the description at the end. So the description, first thing, we can use the background color here. In the background color we can use RGBA. RGB is for red, green, blue, and A for add like some opacity. So you can see here we can first thing add any numbers, 3, 5, and here 0 point, here percentage. So for example 0.5. So I just add any number here, and then you can just click here and you can select which color you want. So for example, I need to go here the color. So now it will be like this. Here you can just say the opacity like this. So I need this color. You can see it will become like this. Now if you go here, yeah, what I need. Or maybe a little bit, I will change the opacity of that. So here, yes. So now I can see the text inside it. Perfect. Now what we need here, also we need to change the font, not size. I will just change the font, make it bold. I will change font family as well, and I can use this type of font. I need to add padding from all sides. you can see here padding. I need to add like some space between the text and the border. So here padding, I can just say like 10 pixel for example, or whatever, anything you want. I can make it like a 20 or 30, maybe it will become better. Yeah, something like that. Here also I don't need to make it like this, I need just to add some margin from left and right, or I can add margin from all sides. So just say margin, which means from all sides, and then 30 pixel for example. So now as you can see we have a little bit margin. Also I need to add border radio, border radius, and I can make it like a 20 pixel for example. Now you can see what happened here. Yeah, perfect, this is what I need to do. So actually this everything for that. I think it's simple, this is like a basic website. In the next class and also in the next video we will explain more advanced, we will use like a flex and so on. Now this one's simple but also like a responsive, as you can see, without anything, we don't do anything and automatically will be responsive. So if you have any question, if you have anything about that, I think until now is simple, but if you have any question you can ask me in the classroom or here in the comments. Hope you understand that, and thank you very much.